Good. Good to see you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Oh, thanks. Thank you for joining us. I'm really keen to talk to you today about a few things because we're doing this online conversations with people around the world, and one of the topics we're really keen to talk about is how you feel about the way that you've made your life so that you're a part of community and the choices and control that you have over your life. But you might first want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
Great.
hi everyone. My name's Karime, and I'm 23. I'm a DJ and producer from Northern Rivers in Australia, and yeah, music is my everything, and I've worked really hard to try and build a life of my own choosing.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. And my name's Michaela Kennedy, and I'm a director at Yader Institute and a support coordinator and a mate of Corinne's. So really glad to be talking to you here, mate. Thank you. So tell us about how you live your life and how you control your supports.
Yeah, sure. So I really like being able to have control and sort of control and choice over who and who isn't coming to my life, and sort of it's very hard to find the right person, like someone that you obviously feel connected with as well. I often think that building a connection with someone first is like the strongest, most important thing that you can do. Because if you don't get along with that person, then it's going to be really hard to work with them. And I feel like that's something that is really hard to do with agents and married, because a lot of them don't have work experience in that sort of uh, mindset, I guess you could say, of getting to know someone as a person and not the disability. I don't know, but that's just my take on it.
Yeah, cool. And I know we were talking before too about how you like to take a few risks, given your age and things that you want to experiment with in life. And you were telling me before about how that's was a lot harder for you before when you were tied to a service provider, whereas it's
Definitely.
different. Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, it's sort of opened my eyes a bit, I guess you could say, from going to agency and then just sort of being on your own, and sort of having that choice, voice, and control, and being able to sort of have your own freedom in a way. So with the agency side of things, I feel like everyone's too scared, because particularly say if you have someone who's about my age, I feel like a lot of young people, we love to explore. We like to take risks, probably do things we shouldn't do. Um, but we've all been there. I'm sure everyone has. And I feel like there's this thing within the agency where it's like if someone gets hurt, like that's the big thing they're worried about, because it's on them, it's not on the client. So they don't want to take that risk. So they're like, well, if a client say wants to go like, I don't know, extreme bungee jumping, um, they might say, okay, I'm not really feeling that. I think it's a bit too risky, because, we're putting the client's health at risk, we're putting our carers at risk, so there's a lot of variables to take in there, especially having to fill out all the paperwork afterwards and all of that other stuff on the side. So I think they're like, it's better to pick a less risky activity like bowling or more of those sort of everyday sort of boring activities. Not to say that bowling is boring, but to say it's more of the common activities that people would do rather than being spontaneous and coming up with wild ideas.
Like DJing at nightclubs.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like that is another thing. Like that can be a very dangerous and risky place for a number of reasons. There's alcohol involved. There's drunk people. There's you know, there's a whole list of things that can go wrong. So I can definitely see service providers being as people that would definitely say no and stick a big red flag for night clubbing. But I think if you have the right people around you that know your client well enough and that have a plan in place, it can be a really lovely experience.
Yeah, awesome. And I believe that you now go to the clubs and DJ and dance and party by yourself now too. You don't need support workers there with you anymore.
Yeah, totally. So funny enough, I was recently, I think a couple of weeks ago, I got approached by a support worker there, and they said to me, "Where's your support worker?" And I said, "Oh, I don't need one. I'm here by myself." And they had this kind of look on their face, like, oh my God, I'm like, oh, I don't want to know what's gonna happen. Like, are you okay? And and back they said, "Are you okay? Do you want me to walk you home? And do you want me to stay with you?" I'm like, "No, I'm all good. I've done this plenty of times before. I'm actually working here." And he was like, "Oh, cool. I wish my clients could do that." I was like, "Well, they can. It's just that you need to have a bit of a plan in place before sort of going ahead with it." And the right people.
Yeah, awesome. That's cool. And so great that you're working at a nightclub.
Yeah, it's
Good fun.
I think for me personally, it's one of the best experiences I've had because you really learn to work under like high pressure situations. You learn to work in a team, and most of all, you get to make people happy by dancing and singing and creating connection and bonding with people. It's such a great place to be in.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I remember those days. I used to club long time ago. Mate, thank you so much for making the time to chat with us
No
today. I'm
worries. Thank you so
really
much for
looking
having
forward.
me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And looking forward to chatting with a whole bunch of other people and see what other kinds of experiences people have with wild and wonderful things that they do with their lives when they're spontaneous.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely is a great thing. And I thank you for letting me be a part of such a awesome experience. And I think it's really great what you guys are doing. Can't wait to see what everyone does.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Karim.
All
We'll
right.
talk
Thank
more.
you.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.